Good morning, YouTubers. T Square with T Square Talks. Hope everybody's having a great day. Got a okay video for you guys today, and I say that kind of with a smile because of a couple reasons. One, I had a funny comment the other day. It said, "If you keep saying we got a great video for you, I'm not going to believe you anymore." And two, because I'll be honest, I really didn't know what to do a video on today. Today has been an interesting day for me. I actually spent most of my day talking to a few individuals about the economy, running some errands, and everywhere I went, people were all talking about the economy. And, are things going to get better with a new administration? Is what's going to happen? And people are a little bit nervous, especially people that own businesses. They're seeing everything slow down and they're taking a hit. And quite frankly, I believe that a lot of people have been living, I don't know if this is a proper term, a little high on the hog. A lot of people have been enjoying their money a little too much and not really saving for that rainy day. It's kind of interesting because some people give me a hard time about saving because, they say you can't take it with you. But the truth of the matter is, I don't expect that, I totally understand. I'm not going to take it with me. But I also don't always know what's going to happen. We don't know what's going to happen. No one has a crystal ball and knows the future. We look at what's going on. We try to anticipate the numbers. We try to get out in front of some of this stuff. And the truth of the matter is, we've known, those of you guys watching the channel that are actually paying attention to what's going on, you're not just checking in at work every day and totally oblivious to everything, then you realize the economy's not good and it hasn't been good for a while. And the truth of the matter is, down economies are a healthy thing. I hate to say that. I know some people don't like that. You can't paper over everything to make everything good. I mean, sometimes you need corrections. Sometimes, I hate to say this, especially right now, a forest fire is bad, but it does clean out all of the scraps on the ground, the wood, the everything, and that way it can have a healthier forest down the road. Now, that's kind of how the economy is. When you got a bunch of businesses that are being propped up, when you got stocks that are being propped up, you got cryptocurrencies that are being propped up by high-end individuals that just keep tweeting about it or want to keep buying every time it dips a little bit. I mean, these things cannot go on forever. Stuff cannot go up forever. You need a certain amount of downtime, essentially. Clean up. Let the companies that are having a hard time, I hate to say this, let them go out of business. People need to reevaluate what's going on. Prices can't go up forever. And the attitude of, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to buy this, I'm going to buy that. You need to put money aside for the future. Now, those of you guys that have been putting away, you're probably in a way better spot than most people. I actually had a talk about this with someone the other day. I said, I don't really have a lot of cash. And someone's like, it don't matter. Silver and gold is just as good as cash. And I talk about it every day, and I know I will be okay having a certain amount of silver and gold. But I wonder if, sometimes I wonder, will people accept that when they have a mortgage on their house that has to be paid in dollars, and essentially they've got two cars in the driveway and they can't afford to keep them. They've got to let something go. No one's going to let go of their house. They might be apt to let go of a car. You guys know me and my theory on dry powder. I'm not a big fan of dry powder. I have been putting a little away recently because I just don't like the way the precious metals markets are going sideways right now. It's strange because we're seeing stuff that we shouldn't be seeing. We're seeing a bigger spread in the futures than we are in the spot price. And to be honest, that points to, in my opinion, we're going to see silver and gold eventually have a pop. Now, when's it going to happen? I don't know. But also, I think there's going to be a lot of people that are just devastated, that are wiped out. I mean, look how many layoffs have been coming around. Look how many companies have been slowing down. Look how many businesses has been slowing down. And so when you start to really look at that, you start to really see the bigger picture. So we're going to talk a little bit about that today. I hope you guys enjoy the video. Like I said, I wasn't going to start off with, hey, I got a great video for you, but I think it will be an interesting one. If you enjoy the video, take a quick minute, hit that thumbs up button for me. Think about some of the stuff we're going to talk about today, and see, how are you going to sit when some of this happens? You have, and it really helps if you hit that thumbs up button, leave a comment. Okay, so, right off the bat, we got to look at the debt. The U.S. debt is just out of control, and it has been for quite a while. You've seen this chart many a times. This is the U.S. debt clock, 36.3 trillion. And look how fast it's going up. There's no end in sight to what's going on. I mean, literally, when you look at the debt to GDP ratio in 1960, we're 50%, 53%. 1980, we were down to 34%. 2000, we were up to 59%, and now we're at 122%. That means that our GDP is pretty well getting wiped out by our debt, literally, and then some. And we know this is unsustainable. That's why we did the video yesterday about all the stuff going on with Greenland, Canada, the Gulf of Mexico, the Panama Canal. And obviously those are all topics that people want to joke around about, but the truth of the matter is people don't really know much about those places. They don't know how much oil and gas and natural resources are in Canada, how many are in Greenland. Most people don't even know where Greenland is. I've had people actually ask me that today. Well, what is Greenland a part of? And the Panama Canal, they don't realize how much time it saves, how much shipping goes through there. I had someone ask me today, it's not that big of a deal. They can just go around. It adds a lot of time on shipping. And the further south you go, it seems like the weather can get a whole lot worse. And, you have Cape Horn, Africa, and obviously the tip of South America. Those are about as far south as you're going to have a lot of ships. They go down a little ways and then they cut around and start coming back up, whether it's off the coast of Africa or whether it's off the coast of South America. And it saves them a lot of time and a lot of money in oil prices to move product around the world. And so when you have something like the Panama Canal that can shave a lot of time off of your trip, you have to understand the importance of that and how many ships go through that. Taking a quick look, because I briefly touched on, I'm going to be jumping around a little bit today. Taking a brief look at the spot price for silver. I mean, we're sitting here now at $30.16 spot price. The green line is today. You're seeing a gradual climb. It's not coming up fast. I mean, today we pretty well touched $30.50. But I really think we've been consolidating for a while. Something interesting is going to happen, I think, pretty soon. When you take a look at the futures, though, look at the spread that's there. I mean, the spread now, you've got the futures contract trading at $31.11. And, I mean, when you look at them numbers, you're talking 5% increase almost in the last 5 days. It's 4.61%. So a lot's going on, and people have to understand that this cannot go on forever. And I really think Trump is going to get stuck in a hard spot. I think he's pretty much the only person that might be able to do something to correct stuff. Like the guy, don't like the guy. He definitely does make bold moves. And, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how things play out with the economy, because we've been lying to ourselves. We've had our eyes closed. We've been saying how great the economy is. The economy's not great. And, if they had just came out and said it early on, I think it would have caused people to maybe slow down on spending, start doing the right thing, and making the right choices. And then essentially what you'd have is it would be a slowdown in the economy, but you'd also have people that are squaring up some of their debt. They'd be charging less. Right now you've got credit card companies eating huge amounts of credit card bills that people are just throwing their hands up and they're giving up. They're defaulting. You have housing prices that have gone to insanely high prices. And yeah, they've pulled back a small amount recently, but is it enough to really make a difference? Unfortunately, Hard times are coming, and we've talked about this time and time again, and I don't think people fully understand what will happen to gold and silver. So, when you have the stock market really take a tank, then essentially, yeah, you will have the possibility of a pullback in gold and in silver and in cryptocurrencies. But it doesn't usually take long before people realize that gold and silver is real wealth, and it has been forever. And so you're going to see big banks try to buy it up. And, you see stuff like this happen every so often. And it's huge buying opportunities. I mean, 2008 was a miserable time for a lot of people, but it was a huge buying opportunity. I ended up picking up a 4-bedroom, 2-bath. It cost me $28,000. I put about $4,000 maybe to just fixing up necessities that had to be fixed up. And then it was a rental property for a while. So, I mean, you have to understand what's going on, and that deals are going to start popping up. Some people, because I do believe that gold and silver will be the first things to start climbing again. And there's going to be people out there that are going to want gold and silver. They're going to recognize gold and silver as money. And hopefully people will have an opportunity to trade. I can tell you right now, if I decide to get rid of a vehicle or a house or something like that, and someone offered me gold coins, I would definitely be willing to take it. Why? Because I know it's real wealth. I mean, if someone was to buy a house, we'll say 50 years ago, you were going to buy a house, or you were going to put the cash in the bank, or you were going to buy gold coins with it, you would find out that gold would have produced the best. You would find out that that house became an increase that come in second best. That cash in the bank didn't do nothing for you. The person that put the money in the bank, literally, it has like no value now. And once you understand these things, you understand what's really going on. It's hard to want to keep stacking when the price is just stagnant. I mean, I like buying dips personally. I'm not really seeing many dips. I don't really like buying when the price has a big jump, but we haven't even seen that either. So it's going to be interesting to see how things play out. There's a few items that I'm really waiting on. One, the most important item, is the Fed meeting at the end of this month. I'm really curious to see how that plays out. That's only, basically 20 days away, if that, 19 days away. I think that could be a big game changer, depending on what they say. I mean, they talked a big game last time during the last Fed meeting. They said, we might do a couple more rate cuts, but to be honest, we may not. We're going to see what happens. We don't know how things are going to play out. And, we saw a little bit of a pullback at first. Like, they're talking a good game, like maybe they're going to slow down on spending. But really, the truth of the matter is, I think they're going to do more rate cuts at the end of the month. It's a strong possibility that we could see that. And rate cuts are really just going to weaken the dollar. Taking a look at the dollar, because I don't even know if I even checked it today. In fact, I didn't, because I didn't even have it open. I'm curious what it's at today. DXY index. So here the dollar is getting even stronger, which I can't help to laugh at that, because it's getting stronger and we're not seeing stuff really come down hardcore. We should see oil coming down. We should see gold coming down. We should see silver coming down. The dollar at 109 is insane. I almost would say that's 7 points away from a, I don't dare to say a long-term high, but this is the all chart. Let's see what we got up to. So yeah, 1986. We were at 116. Fast forward. We had a 117, 118, 118. Okay, so think about that. We're only 9 points away. And look at what's going on. I mean, stuff's not coming down at all. Why is that? We've talked about the manipulation in precious metals, because that's the most obvious one, because there are court cases that show you that there's a lot of manipulation in precious metals, whether it's a settlement to not admit guilt and they just settle it out. But I mean, these numbers are ridiculous. I mean, I'm curious real quick what silver was running in 2002. What was gold running in 2002? That you had the dollar as strong as it is there, and gold and silver, it wasn't even really on a lot of people's radars in 2002. We talk about the manipulation. We've talked in previous videos about what the DXY really means. Yeah, the dollar is strong against the other currencies in the basket of currencies, but it's not strong against every currency, and it's really not strong against gold and silver. However, right now we're not seeing gold and silver come down at a time that we should be seeing it tank. And part of that leads me to believe there is buyers out there for it that are not letting it go down. And that's why if that big buyer happens to be China, whoever it happens to be, as they strengthen the dollar, that prices should be coming down. We all know that. But we're not really seeing it, which really makes me wonder what's going on. If it wasn't for the fact that I'm remodeling my house right now a little bit, I would be tempted to push in my chips and get some more precious metals. But I'm still kind of hoping for a good pullback either the end of next week or before the Fed meeting. And I don't know for sure if that will happen, but we're definitely seeing some signs that we could see something happening. And like I said, economy is horrible right now. And not to mention, we might end up hearing more about, remember the port strikes? A lot of that is still not really been settled. It's been temporarily pushed back. And that's probably going to come back and bite us too. A lot of opportunity out there for gold and silver. I had someone ask me today, what happens if the U.S. does go to war? How will that affect gold and silver? Statistically, if you're involved in a war and you are at risk of having to print a lot more money, then usually gold and silver do go up. It's a safe haven asset. People recognize that. And so they do buy it up. And there's just a lot of stuff going on right now that should be pushing gold and silver up, but we're not really seeing it. I said in yesterday's video that I really believe that the dollar is the United States' Achilles heel. I've always said that I doubt anybody would ever come over here and invade us. But they wouldn't have to invade us. We would probably tear ourselves up from within if the dollar collapses. Think about all of a sudden people's retirements not coming in, their checks not coming in, their Social Security not coming in, or it coming in and not being worth anything. Once you realize these things and what could happen, you start to understand that this is a manipulated system and it cannot last forever. So, like I said, not really a long video. I just wanted to touch base on some stuff tonight and show you guys some of the numbers. Personally, I still think precious metals looks great. I know there's going to be people out there that are going to want to compare it to Bitcoin that has done phenomenal. Well, you know what? Bitcoin and other cryptos, they have done phenomenal. But what are they doing right now? Bitcoin price. You got Bitcoin now. It had a nice day. It moved up a little bit, but it's at 93,860. I mean, are we pretty well going flat or are we going down? What's going on? This is a month out. We're seeing a lot of flat lines. 6 months out, you might have an increase. But it had a huge fire behind it not too long ago. We were up to 110, and even some of the Bitcoin enthusiasts were saying, get out. The price is pulling back. Get out. This is not good. And you're starting to see it. And I'm curious to see how this is going to play out. Obviously, the people that have Bitcoin, hey, I'm happy for them. They've done well. I can guarantee you there are people out there right now that are saying, man, I wish I had sold at 110. I wish I had sold at the high. But you're always going to have them type of people that are going to wish they had gotten out. So once that happens, you start to really see that things can fall quick. And even though gold and silver can fall, how many people are going to get rid of it? People that buy gold and silver buy it as an insurance policy. They're not generally trying to get rich quick. Silver could fall tomorrow to $5 an ounce, and I'm not going to sell mine. I definitely would not sell mine. Gold could plunge even to $1,000. I still wouldn't sell it. It would take a lot for me to pry to get rid of my gold. for someone to pry it out of my hands or my silver. So that's what I want to talk about a little bit tonight. I want to give people a little bit of encouragement. I know right now it feels like things aren't going the way they should be, but I really believe that we are going to see something. And I know someone left me an ugly comment when I said something like that before, and they're like, yeah, like I'm going to put my financial future on your belief. I mean, people have the ultimate choice. They've got to decide for themselves what they're going to do. That's why I always say this is not financial advice. It's just my opinion. And when you look at what's going on, think about how they felt in Rome when stuff was collapsing. I should probably save that for another video. You know, when Rome was collapsing, the currency and everything, people were holding gold. They had already pulled it out of the system. Gresham's law. Bad money will always drive out good money. Where does the good money go? People start squirreling it away. That's what gold and silver is. That's why you don't see silver dimes and silver quarters in circulation anymore. People pulled the good money. People are stacking it. The bad money is what we're using to go pay our goods and stuff. So with that being said, I am going to wrap up here. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. It's a little hard today to come up with a video. But I kind of wanted to do something and just talk about what's going on. Like I said, not a great video, but a lot of good stuff to think about. So thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys again next time on T-Square Talk. Take care, everybody, and have a great day.